I played a lot of roguelikes over this past year, like a lot. I started at the beginning of this year with an entire library or collection that I started of all the games, all the roguelikes, I should say, of the roguelikes I played over 2025. And I tallied them up and it came out to be a total of 31. And that's just all the ones that came out in 2025, not counting any of the ones that I played from previous years. But this is all roguelikes I played in 2025 and there were 31. That's not even including Hades 2. And so this is what this list is about. I did a list like this last year and it was really fun to highlight some of the games that didn't really get talked about, especially in the roguelike category, because there's so many of them. So this is my top 10 list of my favorite roguelikes from 2025, which do not include Hades 2 because Hades 2 got a lot of love this year and rightfully so. One of the best roguelikes to come out, but want to highlight some of my favorite roguelikes that are not Hades 2 that came out this year. And I have something I want to talk about when it comes to roguelikes because I kind of want to do something a little bit different when it comes to covering roguelikes on the channel. So stick around for that. Let's get into the list. Number 10, I got Death Kid. So Death Kid is a pretty underrated roguelike that came out earlier this year. Created by a solo developer. I did an entire video on it after I kind of did everything there is to do in the game. It's actually a relatively short experience. It didn't really take me that long to kind of unlock everything, complete the story, and just get through all the runs I needed to before I was pretty much done with it. I think it probably took me, I don't know, maybe 7 or 9 hours. So it's a relatively short experience, but what was packed in there was pretty good. I really enjoyed the runs. I really enjoyed some of the dialogue and the humor. The combat's pretty good. I love the pixel art combat. If you don't know what this game is about or don't know what it is, you're basically descending from floor to floor and you're defending this light as you're trying to break through each floor. You have several abilities to kind of fend off all of these waves. You can kind of charge up and get into more of a beefier, like Death Grim Reaper state where you're basically going Super Saiyan while you're charging up your energy and expending that energy to knock off all the waves of enemies. So yeah, a fun game. I love the combat, love the art style. The music was pretty solid in it, but again, this was a pretty underrated game. This one definitely left a mark on me, and I encourage anybody who hasn't played Death Kid or tried it out to check it out if you haven't already. Number 9 is SPELLHACK, and this is something you're going to see a part of this list is that they're going to be roguelikes that aren't necessarily more action or hack and slash based. Games like this, SPELLHACK, or fending off enemies using these spell cards, basically simulates what it is to be like a hacker. Not actually being a hacker, but it's really cool. I love the story present. I love the 80s retro vibes in it, and I love that you are literally just sitting at a computer terminal, and sometimes it will shift perspectives and kind of zoom out as the story progresses. And I really enjoyed the story, even though it's like kind of hokey and campy. It's like very 80s, very retro. I enjoyed that, but I just love the uniqueness of this particular roguelike where you're just fending off waves of enemies by using the spell cards, using other cards to kind of affect the lanes, and seeing the different type of like pixelated enemies that are trying to get past your shields and trying to just infect your computer or infect the world, because there's more of a deeper plot involving the world and kind of you were the only one to stop it. So yeah, pretty hokey, pretty campy, but I enjoyed the gameplay. I enjoyed the vibes of SPELLHACK, and that's why this one sits at number 9 for me. Number 8 is Rogue Loops. Man, I had wished I had done a video on Rogue Loops when this game came out, because this has a really interesting premise if you hadn't played it already. So essentially, you are literally going in a circle, and each half circle that you're in, you choose a buff and you choose a debuff. You really don't have a choice. You choose a buff, but you also affect the enemies by buffing them, by debuffing yourself. You either like respawn traps, more enemies, things that will hurt you, environmental obstacles. So really interesting premise, and each time you go through each loop, it's different. You get a different buff and a different debuff for each room that you're in. I really love this kind of risk reward system that you are given within Rogue Loop. And what I really love about this game is that each of the characters represent an entire family. So you have the son, the daughter, the father, and then the mother. They all have their different weapons and abilities. The first character that you play as the son. He's kind of more standard, has more like, he's basically like a sword character. And then the sister has arrows. The father is more of like a brute and kind of switches in between this beast mode. And then the mother is more like a sorceress and has her own abilities there as well. And so this reminded me a lot of one of my favorite roguelikes of all time, second only to Hades, which was Children of Morta. If you've played Children of Morta, it has a heavy emphasis on the family dynamics, and that's exactly what Rogue Loops does. And that's why this one drew to me so well, because I enjoyed the kind of risk reward system that I talked about earlier, but also the family dynamics that are present within this game as well. So that's why this game kind of sits a little bit higher in the top. I mean, it's number 8, but higher than the other two. I enjoyed the heck out of Rogue Loops. I wish I had talked about it more on the channel, but hey, I'm talking about it right now. Another loop-based game sitting at number 7 called OVIS Loop. This one is interesting. I played the demo for this a while back and I enjoyed the heck out of it because the action was just all over the place. It's crazy. It's very fast. You can upgrade yourself pretty easily, and the story is actually interesting too. You are a sheep that are taking out wolves that are cybernetically enhanced with all this technology. I think you're supposed to be some sort of anomaly. I mean, the story is still in progress. This game is still in early access, so there are still things that are being ironed out before it really reaches 1.0, but I love the action. I love the abilities that you get that are very fast, and each time you go through a level, you're basically mowing down enemies, and the way that your weapon changes, either be it fire, electricity, the different elemental effects that you have in there as well. The action is very, very fast, very fluid. You can get a run going pretty quickly, and then you just jump right back into it. And so that's why I really loved OVIS Loop a lot, because the action over the other two are it's just a lot more fluid and a lot more fast, and that's where I really enjoyed it, and that's why OVIS Loop sits at number 7 for me. Number 6 is Hyper Light Breaker. This one was hard for me because I wasn't sure if I wanted to put this one in the top 5 or even the top 3, but I think the other games I will talk about here in just a second kind of beat out Hyper Light Breaker and what it does. But I really did enjoy Hyper Light Breaker. This definitely had a rocky start when it came out in January, but since then it has done multiple different updates and it's gotten better. I've talked about that on this channel where I talked about some of the improvements of Hyper Light Breaker. The performance has gotten better, the runs have gotten better. I felt like the character selection and the weapon variety and the way that you extract is way better. The bosses aren't as crazy, the enemies aren't as insanely damaging as soon as you drop into the world for your first cycle. So I really enjoyed the improvements that Heart Machine has taken to this game and improved it over time. So I can't wait to see what happens when 1.0 releases, probably sometime in 2026. They haven't really said too much about it or when it's supposed to come out. I think whenever they released it, they said I think it was going to take like 18 months or something for it to go out of early access. So maybe sometime in the summer, maybe we'll get some sort of like anniversary update, because it's going to reach the 1-year anniversary here pretty soon, because it came out in early January if I'm not mistaken. I don't really have up to date with me, but you should definitely keep your eyes on Hyper Light Breaker. And I enjoy this game, even though it doesn't sit in the top 5 for me, because the other games just do so much well with what they do. I do look upon this game pretty fondly, and I can't wait to see what goes forward with Hyper Light Breaker. Number 5 is Nine Kings. This is a massively underrated roguelike in my opinion. So I didn't play this game until way later. I bought it on sale during one of the Steam sales. I think maybe it was like during the summer or something, and I didn't pick it up until I started doing research for that Lazy T challenge video, which included gameplay from Nine Kings. So I figured I'd boot up Nine Kings and see what the gameplay was about, and then like 2 hours later I was done, because I needed to move on. I needed to continue on in that particular video for researching the music for this game. But man, this game hooked me immediately, and this is a point and click game, and even though the characters are really small, I love the fact that you can upgrade each of your tile sets and also figure out the different king abilities, whether it be King of Time, King of Blood, King I forget all the other kings, but I love just how crazy your build can get based on what you get from the other kings and the king that you choose initially, and how crazy the enemies are whenever they show up and they battle each other. So a lot of fun, massively underrated game. I know at the time that they put out maybe one update, they added a king, so this game is still in early access as well. I don't know when it will come out to 1.0, but man, keep your eyes on Nine Kings. Very, very fun game. Enjoyed the heck out of this one. Number 4 I have is Lost in Random: The Eternal Die. At the time I played this game and I made the video on it, I think this was my probably number 1, but other games hadn't come out yet. The other games I want to talk about, the other games that are coming up in the 3, 2, and 1 slot. But man, Lost in Random: The Eternal Die was one of my favorite roguelikes of the year. The combat was great, the lore was great, I love the voice acting in it. It was just, everything just hit so well for me. I love the dice abilities, I love the different weapon types, even though there's not too many weapon types, but I love the synergies that you have with kind of the match tree, the different relics you get, and then upgrading the dice abilities from there, and then just kind of synergizing to see how busted your build can be it different elements, or be it the way that you throw your dice, or be it the way your weapons charge up, or the way that your weapons affect your gameplay as well, and also just all the other environmental effects. I love the wardrobe that you get. I love how it connects a little bit loosely to the original game of Lost in Random. So yeah, great game. Love the lore, love the gameplay, love the setting that was present within Lost in Random: The Eternal Die. They did add something later on. When I went back to play this game, they added on basically an endless mode and an endless challenge mode where you kind of handicap yourself into different abilities and different weapons and what you have there before you reach the end of it. So yeah, enjoy that. Love that they're continually improving it and giving it a little bit more support. Enjoyed the heck out of it. Definitely check out Lost in Random: The Eternal Die if you haven't already. Number 3 is Slots and Daggers, one of the games that I could not put down for the longest time. Another game that I did basically 100% completion and got every upgrade, got every ability, went through this game multiple times. I just could not put this down. Even from the demo, I couldn't put this down. And I talked about this in another video where it's just everything is so good. I love Freedom's animation. I love the different abilities that you get in the slots. I love how you can just mix and match and get the most busted combinations to basically wipe out enemies in one shot if you can, and it's just good. And I love how unique this one is, and I'm glad this isn't a real slot machine, because I would have lost all my money if I had played this game in a real slot machine. But man, this game, along with other games that have come out that are kind of different than your more action-based roguelikes, were really good this year. I love to see more unique takes on roguelike, and I can't wait to see other games that were like Balatro and games like this, and people improve upon that or have their own spins on it. And that's why I love Slots and Daggers, because it takes the roguelike genre and turns it on its head, and that's why it sits at number 3 for me. Morsels was really close to being one, particularly because of the music. The music is so good. You gotta check out Sam Webster's music if you haven't already. Sam Webster is one of my favorite composers, one of my new favorite composers, up there with Lorien Testard and Christopher Larkin and Darren Korb. He is up there. He has a phenomenal category of music, and his vibe fits mine like to a T. I love the influence that he has on this, and this game inspired me. And that's why I think Morsels was probably almost number 1 for me, because the music just inspired me to make more music like this, because I love his style. I love the vibe of this game. Probably some of the best pause menu music that I've ever heard in a video game. I am not joking. Play the game right now and see for yourself, or watch the video where I talked about that pause menu music. It is insane how good this music is. I don't know why I'm just gushing over this. The gameplay itself is actually really good. The game is good in and of itself. It's a creature collecting type of roguelike where you collect different types of creatures, you have different abilities, and you just go through with all the different runs. You can swap between them at will, and also you can collect more as they die, and as you collect more and as you go forth and to fight more enemies, has different difficulties, different effects, different type of things, standard roguelike type of stuff. But I think the visual style and the music really carry this game so much. And so the reason why it doesn't sit at number 1 for me is because the gameplay of my number 1, which you probably already know what it is based on what I've talked about already, is that I think the gameplay is not as good as my number 1, but man, on the music alone and on the vibes alone, Morsels is like a 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 for me. And probably if I had like a number 1 tied for number 1, this would be it. But something has to be number 2, so something else can be number 1. But Morsels is a really close number 1, but it is number 2 for this particular list. And who could have guessed it? Number 1, Absolum, one of the best roguelike beat 'em ups to come out this year. So good. The music I didn't like as much as Morsels, but the gameplay, like I said before, is so good. The moment-to-moment gameplay feels amazing. Everything feels so punchy. Using the different characters, using your Arcana, using your standard attacks from heavy, and like and synergizing with everything in between is just so good. I love the dialogue, I love the voice acting. I think that's probably why it's over Morsels, because there's more dialogue, there's more story, there's more lore present. It's very much like playing a comic book, and it feels so good. There's a character that looks straight out of Hyper Light Breaker, which is crazy, but Absolum has the sauce, it has the juice, everything that I love in a roguelike, and it's just so good. Everything that I love about Hades 2 or Hades and games like it, Absolum has that to a T. And even though it's a different style, even though it's more of a beat 'em up, a side-scrolling beat 'em up, all the pieces of what makes a good roguelike for me personally just fits in so well, and it has left a lasting impact for me. And that's why this is my #1 favorite roguelike of 2025, not being Hades 2, but man, really close between Absolum and Hades 2. Not gonna lie, I would probably say that they're both my favorite, and then Morsels was right there with Slots and Daggers. Man, there were so many roguelikes, so many good roguelikes that come out this year, and it's hard to decide, but I had to make a decision. That's why all these games sit at the position that they are. But honestly, the last three, my top three, probably could have swapped around based on how I felt that day. I'm not gonna lie, I would probably swap around all three of these, and if you put in Hades 2 in the mix, there's just like, they're all my #1, to be honest with you. So it's crazy. I love roguelikes, one of my favorite genres of all time. But I did say that I'd have something to talk about when it regards to roguelikes going into the new year. So I didn't spend a lot of time, or as much time as I should have, with a lot of these games, and a lot of these games have a lot of systems, a lot of deep lore, a lot of replayability. You can spend hours and hours and hours on all of these games combined, but I didn't put as much time as I really wanted to with these games because I needed to move on, or there are other games to play. But I think for this year, going into 2026, I want to kind of camp on one game per month specifically. So what I'm going to do for 2026 is I'm going to pick one roguelike, be it old or new, so something that has already come out or something that is going to come out in 2026. I'm going to play that roguelike and that roguelike alone for the entirety of that month. And so what that means for me is I'm going to play that on camera and also off camera to kind of help give myself a little bit of relief, so I can really mine the depths of that game, really get into the systems, really get into the lore, really get into the music, because that's something I also want to do in regards to just any of the games that I'm playing this year, is I want to get into the music and analyze the music of some of these games and talk about it on the channel. So the videos that will come from that particular roguelike will be different. It won't just be maybe like LP based, or maybe like this is the best build, but I want to talk about things like the music, talk about the lore, talk about maybe some of the weapons. So I have some ideas for whatever I'm going to do for the particular roguelike, but I'm going to pick one roguelike per month, and then like I said, old or new, and then just kind of swap between, and then just see where we go from the rest of the year. So that's the kind of the focus of what I want to do for roguelikes in regards to the channel for 2026, and also just me personally, because I kind of want to do more focus. I want to slow down and really focus on a particular game, give it the love and give it the care that I feel like it deserves. And even if I miss some that come out this year, I'll do it maybe again the next year or the year after that, or maybe just do it another time, maybe nothing related to the channel. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. So what is gonna be the roguelike I'm going to focus on for the month of January? I only think it would be fitting to focus on Hyper Light Breaker for the month of January, seeing how it's going to be a year old in the month of January. So that's what I'm going to do. For the entire month of January, the roguelike I'm going to focus on is going to be Hyper Light Breaker. So if you want to join me in that journey, if you want to pick it up, if you haven't picked it up already, or if you picked it up and you didn't play it yet, join me as I talk about a lot of Hyper Light Breaker for the month of January. And at the end of the month, I'll kind of give it more of like a review, or talk about it in general, or just do something related to Hyper Light Breaker. And then I will announce what I'll be doing for the month of February, and so on and so forth. So hey, that's how the structure is going to be for the channel in regards to roguelikes for 2026 and beyond. But hey, hope you enjoyed this list. Let me know if there was a roguelike that you played over 2025 that I didn't get to, or that I didn't talk about, because again, I played 31 roguelikes, so I probably played one that I didn't get to on this list, and so that's why it made it so hard to talk about this top 10 because there were so many good roguelikes that came out this year. But man, let me know if there were some of your favorites down in the comments below, or if any of the ones that I talked about in this list made it onto your list. And yeah, let me know. I would love to have that conversation in the comments below. And if you want to see more videos from me, be sure to check those out as they'll pop up, and I will be back with my top 10 favorite games of 2025 overall. Hades 2 is included in that list, and that's why I do this list separate from Hades 2, because I don't want to spend all my time glazing Hades 2, because that's what I totally would have done, because it's a great game. But there are also other great roguelikes as well, and I hope you check those out. But hey, thank you so much for watching. My name is Chike, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.